So the most important way to lead when you sell your home is to price your home correctly. Gone are the days of pre-COVID and certainly during COVID, and when you could put a price on your property and you get multiple offers, no inspections, no appraisals, that didn't matter because you wanted a piece of the rock. Since that time, people are free to go and socialize and not have to wear masks. Interest rates have gone up. Insurance costs have gone up. Inventory's gone up. There are a lot more homes for sale. So how do we price your home to make sure it sells quickly and at a fair price? Because we know that if we get a fair price, unfortunately, there's always a little pain in getting a fair price. There's a pain because the buyer has to stretch, and there's a pain from the seller because the seller may regret having to compromise. That becomes a pretty good negotiation, I think. But there's also the opposite situation where you underprice your property and you leave money on the table. That's bad. The buyer wins and the seller loses, and it's an arm's length transaction. That is bad real estate, poor business practice. So how do we set the right price, and how do we make sure that we use the tools, especially AI? So we have historical data. We have data from pending sales as far as the hit zone, as far as how to get your house into contract at what price. And we also have those contracts that are active with pending some contingencies on getting the sale into pending. So active under contract, pending sales, and closed sales all make up a good component, or three good components to pricing your property using historical data. But now we have AI. How do we take that data, look at interest rates, cost of getting a loan, the cost of the mortgage payment, look at the insurance rates, what that adds to the expense for the buyer, and how do we mitigate that total expense and still allow you to sell at the highest price in the quickest amount of time? We also must remember that wherever we start doesn't necessarily mean that's where we end up. So wherever you start to market your property, do not be careless and offer your property for more than it's valued at or worth. Be reasonable, be respectful for what you have and what you own. Because remember, we have the benefit of living in these properties. They've served us for multiple purposes. We live there, and oh, by the way, they're a pretty good investment. You know, and you've probably already heard the saying that pigs get slaughtered when they get too greedy. That happens in real estate too. So let's be mindful of what we're doing, what our motivation is, what we need or want in terms of the sale might be two separate things. It is very possible to get the right price for you and your property. Getting that right price is using the information we previously talked about, but also getting feedback from agents that show your property. So a good rule of thumb that I always tell my sellers is that we know we're priced right when we're getting 5 showings every week on your property. And if we're getting no showings on your property every week, it's too high, even in a high interest rate environment, because homes still sell. So pay attention to the feedback. Or maybe you're getting 3 showings and you're getting feedback about areas of your house that need improvement or feedback on pricing. Do not be afraid to adjust your price. We're not trying to become the hero, we're trying to become the benefactor of the sale. And the benefactor of the sale is when a property is priced properly and it's taken to conclusion of contract closing to allow you to walk away with the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. I can help you do that. Give me a call. My name is Gary Lanham, and I can be reached at 954-695-6518. Thank you.